This is still Influence Talk, and of course, you're still hanging out with Turi and myself. And because they panned to me first, is okay. I have introduced us. Don't forget, the messages are coming through on the same number 0770-729-366. And by the way, I hope we were helpful to you, Mr. Steve. If you do have any more feedback on long distance relationships, please send it through. We will appreciate that as well.
And I think it's just illegal how it's not Friday today. But that's just me, okay? I just can't believe it's not Friday. But our conversation for this Wednesday is how to deal with keyboard warriors. Have you been trolled on the internet before? Because let me tell you, I have. They're just like certain apps that I just won't go to and be consistent on, just because I know how unhinged people can be. And that is Twitter. I never post content. I just go there and retweet, and that is the same medium I use for my internet provider to tell them, hey, refresh my link, it's not working. And the one I use for electricity to tell them, power lines are out in this location, in this area, kindly fix, kindly see to it. That is the only use and purpose of my Twitter. And just following other Boshene, because I know how brutal people can be. And it takes thick skin to be on social media and put yourself out there. Because your version of your truth might be someone else's, BS. And they're looking at you and they're like, oh, she is so pretentious. Yep. Can she just sit down? And you're just genuinely putting out something you enjoy. But people are going to interpret it kindly. And you need to have thick skin. But when somebody is coming at you, okay, you've posted your fine picture, you're looking nice, and then keyboard warrior, ha 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 ha, your skin yako inakaa kama barabara sijui ya kwenda Mweki because iko na bumps nyingi. All I'm saying, people are brutal. So what do you do in such a situation? There's always the option to block this person. There's always the option to delete that comment. There's always the option to clap back and tell him, yes, lakini niko na pesa situmii matatu kama wewe. There's always an option. But at the end of the day, you want what is going to give you peace.
Yes.
So you could block this person, you could delete them, you could not respond. Like me, I see that as engagement for my post. You come there, you say nonsense on my picture. I'm like, damn, okay. Instagram, the algorithm is seeing this as comments, very many comments on this girl's picture. Alafu after 3 weeks, nitakuja tena ni delete ama niziache tu, because even if you leave them, other people will defend you. They'll say, no, she's a beautiful girl, you're the ones you. So that is engagement on its own. But that's just me, because over time, I developed thick skin.
I feel like for many people, we all want to get to that level of Turi's where you're just like, all right, y'all do what you got to do. It's engagement on my part. Like, I don't care. I love the picture and therefore I posted it. You don't like it? That's a you problem. So you figure that out on your own. However, for the rest of us, who still, our skin is thick knee, but it is not thickness. We're not there yet. We're still trying.
You get hurt.
Other things on the internet, you're just like, wow. It is painful. It is hurtful. So I think the first and most important thing is, as I am learning to get to that thick skin level, I think for me nowadays is how I receive the comment or how I receive the information, right? I kind of don't. Usually I would be like, immediately it would hurt my soul. It would be like a sword, right? And now you're just
so painful.
And you're trying to pull it out. Nowadays, I just let it sit for a minute. It's just a sword at the end of the day. What's the worst thing that could happen? It's already done the worst. They've already done the worst that they could do. So what do? You wait for it to heal, kidogo, and then you start calmly and collectively pulling out that very painful sword and letting that skull heal, right? What am I talking about? I'm talking about calmness in how you respond. Have you ever responded to someone, or have you ever spoken immediately after someone has said something with such might? And then you end up just going back and recoiling, and as you're taking a shower, you're like, man, I should have said this. Man, why didn't I say that? I'm such an idiot. As you're showering there, kumuthering yourself with that nice kagunia. We call them loofahs, but truly, honestly, kagunia. Anyway, as you're there loofahing yourself and you're trying to get yourself clean, you're remembering all the stupid things that you may have said instead of what you said. What am I saying? Give yourself time to decide how you want to engage. be calm, be collected. Eventually, when you've taken enough time, you will decide whether it's worth even responding or how do you want to deal with it. And coming up with comebacks in a taking it time, Pia. You need time to process, to cook that thing, you know, and come back with a heavy hitter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And another option is take the screenshot. I know you don't want to move around with all this baggage and all these hurtful words, but sometimes it's important to take that screenshot, because if you ever want to pursue this person legally, because zingine zinakwanga very painful. You were just chilling, you were not harming anybody,
Pew, pew.
and then somebody
Straight
just
bullet.
comes to you, or maybe you're a business owner and somebody comes with very unfounded claims and they're saying, oh, your products gives people toxic burns, don't buy from this person. And you're like, wow, my product will never do that, would never do that. It has passed every standard that is there. So what are you talking about? So take a screenshot. Siku hizi kuna DCI, kuna section ya cyber crime, and you can actually report a person who is harassing you on the internet, okay? Nobody is anonymous anymore in the day and age we live in. You can easily track them down. If you don't know how, come and I'll tell you. Like, I'll tell you how I've caught so many people on Instagram. You just like back channel, like you try to log in as them on Instagram and they give you an option like a number ending with this, or we sent to this email, and you're like, damn, is this not the name of my best friend? And then you're like, damn. So people will create like pseudo accounts just to attack you,
But the
and then the
IP
same
address
people
is the same.
in your comment section saying, fire, you look firebomb,
Oh,
you're
no.
you know, you're the illest. The whole time you're just doing ill things towards you. You saw that.
I saw what you did
Actively
there. I
rapper.
saw what you did there. But anyway, yeah, as much as you are also taking these screenshots, I think even the frequency of how much you go back to these screenshots or go back to these very, very vile things that are being said to you on your Instagrams or your interwebs social media apps, right? Try and reduce the frequency in which you engage with that content.
Okay.
Because, like, surely, if you have, 10 people who tell you you look like a Kanyoni, or, you know, like, at some point, your brain will start going like, oh, do I really look like a Kanyoni? And then you start recoiling and feeling sad over your Kanyoniness. You know, like, just calm down. So stop engaging with this. Stop looking at these screenshots frequently. Stop looking at these comments frequently. If they're bugging you and you're not at that point where you can just let it stay there, delete. Find this person, block. You're given that option of block this and other accounts that they may. Yes, block. You just leave them. And if they come back to your DMs on other pseudos, block and hide other notifications. You know,
Report.
Report to Instagram.
Wonderful.
Like, you can just, there's so many options that are available to you. The only problem is like that instant, like, oh shit, my
Burn,
goodness.
yeah.
When you see it, it burns. That can never be taken away. I'm sorry, but it is just the reality of things. However, how you choose to use that information, entirely up to you.
Sitawahi sahau, hata imenirudisha tu. Like, I not until very recently, I never used to post like full pictures of me. If you go back on my social media, it used to be selfie, to a point where I started being trolled for only
just having
posting selfies,
selfies.
and that like, kwani wewe ni kiwete, kwani hauna miguu, like, you know. And very recently, I started posting full pictures. And then, you know, you found this courage. You've had to dig deep to find the courage to just post a full picture. And then somebody was like, you look very funny in dresses. Immediately, I was like, damn, you sure? You sure? And I have to now go back and analyze my pictures of me in dresses. It is so cruel, and sometimes it's just projection. Hata yeye kwa nyumba haezi vaa dress. So akikuona umevaa dress, anasikia kiwaru. Okay?